if it will actually let me pull this up to where y'all can read this well. I think what you make looks good. I don't want to do that. I just want to see my image that I have in there where y'all can read it better. But I guess that's not going to happen. Oh, nice. It probably wouldn't do me any good to be in a Discord server that does a lot of food pics. I would somehow gain weight, like, through osmosis. Trying to move my stuff on my screen so I can see things. I am blind as a bat, and I hopefully be able to read this. Alright. I'm going to attempt to take notes while I'm doing this because work never leaves me alone. This one's interesting because let's see what you guys... It says like a weird 10-foot monster, but it's basically like aliens. But also, too, I have a secondary post that is from... When is this from? 1919. When's the first one from? Doesn't say. We have to find that. Alright, but this one's from... The second post I have is from 1919, and it's a giant 18-foot skeleton that was found. And I just find it interesting that we have large skeletons and stuff like that, and wonder if they could somehow be related. But let me zoom this shit back in so I can see it. Because again, blind as a bat. Alright. Hope you guys aren't going to have like me just super focused in, but trying to read is going to be a little bit difficult. So, Braxton County residents faint, become ill after run-in with weird 10-foot monster. 7 Braxton County residents Saturday reported seeing a 10-foot Frankenstein-like monster in the hills above Flatland. They said they saw the monster Friday night when they climbed a wooden hill to investigate reports that a flying saucer had landed. Mrs. Kathy May Flatwood, of Flatwood, said she and 6 boys, including a 17-year-old member of the National Guard, started to search for a bright object which her 2 small sons said they had seen come down. However, state police laughed the reports off as hysteria. They said the so-called monster had grown from 7 to 17 feet in 24 hours. The National Guard member, Gene Lemon, was leading the group when he said he saw what appeared to be a pair of bright eyes in a tree. At first he thought it was a possum or raccoon, but when he shone his flashlight on it, he said he saw a 10-foot monster with blood-red face and green body that seemed to glow. Mrs. May said Lemon let out a terrified scream and fell over backwards. She said the monster started towards them with a bounding motion. All the party agreed that there was an overpowering smell that burned the nostrils and made them sick. Several of the party fainted and vomited for several hours after returning to town. A. Lee Stewart, co-publisher of the Braxton County Democrat, said that he and several men armed with shotguns returned with Lemon. Sorry, it's a little fuzzy. About a half hour to an hour later, and reported a sickening odor still present. He said there were also slight heat waves in the air. These people were the most scared people I'd ever seen. Stewart said People don't make up that kind of story that quickly. Both Mrs. May and Lemon described the thing as having the shape of a man, blood-red face, bright green body, protruding eyes, and hand extended forward and appeared to give off an eerie light. They said that it had a black... oh God. A black something affair in the shape of an ace of spades behind it and wore what looked like a pleated metallic shirt. Okay, a black shield, I think. Affair in the shape of an ace of spades behind it and wore what looked like a pleated metallic shirt. It looked worse than Frankenstein, Mrs. May said. So, Braxton County. Does this actually have a state? I don't think so. We don't have a date or a state, just Braxton County. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, even if it's not aliens, what did they see? It kind of just makes me want to go and get one of those like 12-foot tall skeletons and paint it like this. Do like glow in the dark green paint on the body, and then some kind of red face paint to make it look, you know, all terrible and stuff. I moved my stuff all around and I don't know if it's affecting things. I'm sorry. There we go. Alright, so I threw this into Google Lens, as always, because it just makes it easy to do. And it looks like this is known as the Flatwoods monster. Why are things bothering me on my phone? Nothing important. And let's see. Let's look at this one. I always have to have coffee, but like I also have this mug and it's just water. So I do have my coffee, which is this one, and then I have my water. So this is actually just trying to find a link to the actual article. Nope, that's not what I want. I click on this one because this is basically where I got it from, if I'm not mistaken. Looks. Just let me click on it. Oh my god. Fine. Pinterest is annoying me. It just will not let me fucking click on this. There we go. Okay. I just want to be able to click on the actual article. Oh, for fuck's sake. I at least have a date in publication. I'm going to attempt to snooze all of my notifications so they don't just be annoying. Let's see. Aha! It's actually a slightly more clear version of what I was trying to read. Okay, it did say Black Shield. I'm actually going to download this one. Oh, I just... Really? You wouldn't just... You get to see all my frustrations. Alright, hopefully, like I said, that's a better one. So, just out of curiosity, let's see what they say this is, because I'm actually not familiar with the Flatwoods monster at all. When I read this, I just saw aliens and I got excited because, you know, aliens are fun, but let me... Now I get the fun of putting this on my phone in a way that I can easily pull it off my computer. Thank you. Doesn't really look like... yeah, it's like their little... Like, this looks like it's fucking straight out of Doctor Who. But let's see. So it looks like this was a one night only kind of thing. Oh, one of the boys peed his pants. He was so scared. And a dog ran with his tail between his legs. Aw. I don't know why, but with the shield thing, that's not at all what I was picturing. But I don't really know what I was picturing. Maybe something smaller. Interesting. It was dusk when they saw it. The Mays brothers, Ed 13, Freddie 12, had been playing in their schoolyard with their 10-year-old friend Tommy. After noticing a pulsing red light streak across the sky and crash into a nearby farm, the three youngsters ran to grab the Mays boy's mother, then hightailed it up to that hill to check out what had landed. Frankenstein-like monster, though. You know, like... I'm curious... Like, and we all know what the original Frankenstein, like, looked like. And I'm not quite getting that at all from this. I would almost, like, with the way they have it drawn, think more fucking Tin Man. Not so much Frankenstein. Let's see. It may have had claws for hands. It was hard to tell because of the dense mist. The story made local news, then got picked up by national radio and big papers all over the country. There's a museum for this. You get seen for 2 seconds, one time, and you get a museum. What? Man, we are definitely a tourist trap kind of people. I want to click on all of these and watch them, but 1, I don't have my sound on. 2, I don't know how you would hear it and if it would sound right. And 3, I want to eventually put this back up on YouTube, so... Oh well. So I guess by green glowing body, they must have meant more green clothes, and then the blood red face was actually the whole thing, but it also said, I thought this was black. Where is she? Is that the most you can zoom in? I am blind. So yeah, black shield. Huh. I don't know what it would have... Because basically what they're drawing, or their figures, they have this is red, and his arms is red. And this is green, so he'd have a green outfit. But they also show this, they show this as red, and it should be black, according to the article. It is hard to believe. Because it could be about just about anything. Let's see. I like this. Gibson doubted too, though, since he sold 1,000 of his 12-inch tall ceramic green monster figures in just the last 2 years. Don't believe in the Flatwoods monster, but I do want to boost our economy. That was Basil. I have 3 cats. And him and his sister are 2 of the most vocal. Toothless doesn't really make a lot of noise, but she occasionally will walk up and yell at me. Especially if I'm at the computer for too long, in her opinion. But they also sometimes fight and get in trouble, so occasionally I have to run off and yell. I always try to mute though. One of the differences between doing this live and just recording it is, yeah, now everybody ends up hearing that kind of stuff. Oh well.
The Flatwoods monster case, this occurred on September 12, 1952. This whole thing happened at dusk, and there were a number of young people going off into the woods and saw some kind of fiery, glowing object that descended or came down. Two of the boys, Ed and Freddie, grabbed their mother, whose name was Kathleen May, and she came back with the group to see this thing, what they described as a creature.
And nobody will play with her.
Very tall.
She will walk up
eyes that are glowing red,
to one of them and like smack them on the face, so that way they'll play with her. Or she also, this is sneaky, will try and get them in trouble, especially Basil, by making a sad cry like she's being attacked, and she's not, because I can see the other ones all around. But she, like, does this whole sad, pathetic meow of, I'm being attacked and they're being mean to me when nobody's bothering her. Children. The story's filled with seemingly credible accounts, including eyewitnesses from Air Force pilots, appeared in April 1952. Wait, is this a different? I think this is a different one. Okay. Yeah, this is a different story right here. My dog is such an old man. He won't, like, I have to wake him up in the mornings and basically, I don't want to say like beg to get him to go outside, but definitely like wake him up when it's time for him to go outside and coax him out. So I'm eating Reese's Pieces. I kind of want to see what they think it is. Reese's Pieces are the best because they only come in 3 colors and they're all fall colors. So you have your brown, your orange, and your yellow. And it's not like a spring yellow either. This is like a fall yellow, and then your little pumpkin orange, and I mean brown is brown. So it's just like a little mouthful of fall, but a sweet treat. I don't know why, but this is just making me think of that episode of The Simpsons where they found the angel. And they were like, the skeleton of the angel and like what it is and everything. And then it just turned out to be an advertisement for a new mall. So there were meteor showers that night. And a monster with claw-like arms could definitely be an owl. Especially two with big eyes. Toothless. Not your food. I'm licking the dog's plate. But it was a skeleton that had like angel wings that they dug up. Shit. I was eating Reese's Pieces. Oh shit. It's one of the old ones. I haven't watched like Simpsons in the longest time. Let's see. Simpsons. It won't let you send what? And is it something that I know I can fix? Angel. Yeah. Okay. There's this, one Space Cadet. I don't know if that helps any with the, which episode it is. Pets will be pets. Man. Before this, I was feeding Marty, and, I've been making his food. And so he had his rice, his chicken, his peas, his carrots, some egg and pumpkin, and like some water to like make it so it was easy for him to eat. And oh my god, he looked up at me at what point in time, dripping from his chin. So he's got like his little white like chin hair, and it's just dripping like orange from the pumpkin. And he was making like the most disgusting noises, and his plate is like, I don't know, like 4 feet from my desk, and oh god, it was so gross. And then of course, like, he gets done, and I'm trying to get him up in his chair. I'm trying to wipe his face. And it was so nasty. And just so gross, and I gotta get him a better mat for his food to sit on, because right now it's just on like a little non-skid thing that is definitely gonna drip through to the carpet, but it's so gross. But he's so much happier now that he's eating this. Paid all the money for make sure he was okay, and he's okay. But oh well. Animals will be animals, and they will be drippy animals sometimes. But anyways, this just made me think of this episode of The Simpsons where, yeah, it just ended up being like an advertisement to the mall. I think this actually says the end is near or something like that. But yeah. Yeah, okay. For whatever reason, like, this name just kind of reminds me of it. Like, somewhere between that and like I said, Doctor Who creature. It's so weird, though, that they don't, like, it said that the thing behind his head was black, so why is it not black? I have questions about something I've never heard of before. Oh, the lily needs a nap. Let's see. There were fewer than 300 people in Flatwoods in 1952. And a few less than that now. It's funny that none of the sizes are same across the board. 7 feet tall, 10 feet tall, 13 feet tall, or 17 feet tall. Naps are awesome. I love my naps. I never have time for naps anymore. My problem is I'll go to lay down and, yeah, 17 feet tall, that'd be insane. I'll go to lay down, and that will be the moment that everybody I know needs to check in with me. Unless I have specifically said I am taking a nap, and then people will leave me alone. But we have to end up watching the episode of Monster Quest about it. Because honestly, it's the first time I've ever heard of it. At least I think it's the first time I've ever heard of it. It doesn't sound familiar. It doesn't look familiar. Some of the witnesses said it had no arms, while others said its arms were thin and spindly, with long fingers shaped like claws. I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. Oh no, I just had to yawn. With the sickness that they were suffering, it says doctors who treated witnesses said the symptoms they were suffering were similar to the symptoms of mustard gas exposure. I wonder if there is, like, if you could do something with mustard gas and maybe something else that could cause, like, don't laugh, almost like the scarecrow's, like, fear toxin. But something that would basically make them react poorly, but also give them some kind of, if they saw an owl, maybe, you know, their brain fucked with them and turned that owl into a alien. But let's see, what is the, yeah, it seems like that would be possible and not that hard, especially if they were worried about like Russians and Soviets and stuff like that. Which one of these tabs was it? Was it this one? Let's see. Yeah. So yeah, people were already scared of the Soviet Union and all of that. So it seems very well possible that something could have been tested nearby that gave them hallucinations with seeing something normal. It also could be little green men. I don't know. I feel like if we have aliens, or if aliens exist, they may exist, but I doubt they would come here. It just seems like it's too much of a travel hassle. But let's see. I'm skimming this other article. This one isn't so much with aliens, just bones of a giant from, let's see, 2,800 years ago, and this was 100 years ago, so 2,900, no, yeah, 2,900 now, it's almost 3,000 years ago. Never mind on that one. They are not related. I need to do better math next time. I get all excited when I see things, and depending on the state of my brain, it is either fueled by sugar, caffeine, tacos, or, you know, gummies. And sometimes I forget to read things all the way through before I start jumping to conclusions. Well, I won't say jumping to conclusions, jumping to hopes. But with this one, we do know it was a real story, so that's good. Sure I can get that posted.